Welcome to the Red Room, and this is our Christmas video. If not, it will be so. Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now I've subjected you to this.
No.
Have you missed this? Of course not. Obviously.
Why? Have you been gone?
Apparently, you have been out of YouTube at least. Okay, so there are a couple of news, and one of those news is our Christmas sale, which started a couple of days ago.
And it's going to be until the 6th of January because that's King's Day, and that gives you enough time
It's
to
not
buy.
because of it's not because of Trump.
You shit bastards.
Yeah, so if you have already finished your Christmas shopping, and I hope you have, because it would be a little bit late for that.
Well, I still have a Christmas present to buy tomorrow. Yes.
You should have done it already. But if you have done your Christmas shopping, and unlike Sylvia, and if you have still some money to spare, I think you really should invest in Red Room stuff, and or not, maybe not. But
yes, because you'll be feeding the cats.
It's my place to say that it's good for you. So you should use code Red Christmas, not Christmas.
Do you want to share the image just so I can that makes the joke that they will be helping feeding the cats better?
Yes.
There's a cat there. And this poor thing, that poor thing is is but flesh and bones.
Yes, he's a fat bastard. So you can use that code down there, Red Christmas, for a 25% discount on.
Since we are joining 2025. Well, I don't know if that was your idea, but
it was that one. Yes. And because 25 is a nice discount, and without being excessively bad for us, like a 50% discount, it would be a little bit. Okay, it would be better for you, but not for us. So this is going to last until the 6th of January, and it's available only at the store, of course. Lulu has no discount codes at all. They have their own, but we can't use that. And you can use it for any of our items, not for the Pundit files, but any of our items, Ratchet or Red, old or new. And I think it's enough about this, I guess.
Well, important thing talking about the 6th of January is that the 6th of January is the end of our Christmas jam. So we have time, and during the holidays, just.
So the good news is we already have enough entries not to disqualify everyone and just end the jam. So there are enough entries for the jam to go on. But
we want more.
Yes?
We want more. Yes, but
we want more, of course. We want more. So if you have started something and you are thinking, well, just 1 week and few days or 2 weeks, it's still time. There's still time. No, it's more than 2 weeks. Yeah, there's still time.
It's 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yes. And it's a small. You can do a small entry. The maximum is 5,000 words, but you can do less than that. That's up to you. So until the 6th, when our sale ends, you can still send us an entry by email or whatever. You can send us a message or whatever. It will be judged later by our 3 judges, which are Shadow from Shadow and Sun, Abram from Talking About Games, and Ryan from Nerd Cognito. They will be the judges of this. And I will not include names, so there's no...
Yes, because we don't want someone that, I like this person, so I think it's... Obviously, is that we want to avoid any type of bias, negative or positive. Though actually, I was thinking more of the positive. It's like, oh,
Yeah, more like
I like this guy, so obviously this is a great scenario.
Yeah, because I don't think people would think that before, but it could affect their judgment when they are reading that.
I mean, it could, because people would say, "Oh, yeah, they are friends of them." That's why they won.
Also that. Also, there would be also that. So,
and I mean, friends of them. I don't just mean the judges. I mean also from us, because some of the people that submitted entries so far, people that have been playing with us. So
yes, no,
one
one of them hasn't been playing lately, but yeah, he has already played, which makes some sense because these are the people that are familiar with Ratchet, and I believe that most people that bought our stuff is not even using our rules; they are using something else. So, okay, so that's all about the jam. And now let's talk a little bit about
for something completely different.
Yes, maybe.
Or not.
Some news, I guess. I'm working right now, well, not right now, but a little bit, on New Flash, the new version. I'm going to tell you again a little bit about that and show a preview of the game. This time it's a full game. It's a red game, not a Ratchet. So all references to Ratchet factions have been removed. The city now is called always or mostly Interzone. Avalidad was still it's still there because I've decided to use that name only for Moroccans. Yeah, so natives who call it Avalidad, but everybody else calls it Interzone. So it's the official name for the city now. There are obviously other changes, some more material. All the layout is different. New rules, of course. New rules, optional rules as well that weren't in the Red Book. Some of them will be later when I re-release Red. And new art and the comics that you've seen, maybe if you've seen the web comic, a part of that is going to be included, and I'm going to show that right now. So instead of talking about it, let's show it. And this is another
a completely different style. Yes.
Yes, for the cover and for the illustrations, they are very different.
And then I'm sorry to joke, but that one was made by a person. I'm disgusted.
Yes, we still use the AI because this is a large book, but there's lots of human art from different people. So this is the cover, of course, by Canales, who also done the back cover, but this I'm not going to show the back cover now. I haven't finished it yet. This is still a work in progress. Here is the recolored comics. They aren't when I published them black and white. The first pages, we started it in color, but then I decided that black and white would work better. But in this case, we needed full color because all the book will be full color. So it was recolored, and so that's how it looks right now. The comics, if you aren't aware of that, they were made by Chris Villarosa, who has also done some other stuff for us.
And he's also a person.
And he's also a person, yes. It's not the name of an AI model. Chris Villarosa is a person, yes. We've already interviewed him, so I've reused the cover for the first version. Well, not the first one, the second version. The first Ratchet version, at least. And this is how it will look unless something changes during the next few days. I don't think so. So this border was also made by a person. I couldn't find any stock art for this border that could be.
It has eyes and weird stuff. It doesn't show there, but it's.
Yes, if you look closer, it's it's a flashy thing. So we also increased the biotech field for this setting. It's still future noir. There's still some cyberpunk stuff, but the biotech now has a little bit more. The most important thing is there's more information about biotech, and some of the plot hooks and stuff that we included here is also
we can say that it's flashier.
Yes, it's definitely flashier. The rest of it hasn't changed much. The influences, the backstory for this, the fact that there are several Japanese corporations behind things at Interzone, that hasn't changed. That's still the same thing, but there's more information about the setting and a bunch of plot hooks, or I'm not sure if you could call them plot hooks. Some of them are plot hooks, some of them can be plot hooks, are just pieces of fluff for the setting that were made by Mark Brooks, and they were. If you are at our Discord channel, you may have seen them. He has been.
I would call it story seeds instead of plot
story
hooks.
seeds, maybe.
Yes, they are fluff that work with story seeds.
Yes, it's more like that. So I mentioned this because this insectophilia thing was written by him, and there's several others dispersed throughout the book. They are interesting, and they are also very much bio things. So it's all about body transformation and all those things. So it helps.
So we can say that in this book you have, so you use some of Mark's story seeds, and you also have one of our players working with you on this. So
yes,
we have 2 additional writers.
Yes, well, he's not writing anything right now.
Yes,
he wrote one of the scenarios, and he did some editing, and is creating some images. Those ones are AI.
I'm just saying how amazing that how many people are involved. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this one is a bigger, probably the largest in terms of manpower and women power. In that case, it's just you.
Well, I haven't done a lot for that one. Well, the designer did
no, not this time. Not this time. But there are some bits of this that were initially written by you. Yeah. Okay, the world
for being
beyond
inclusive when we use the expression manpower. Yes. People power.
People power. Yes. The world beyond Interzone is something that was much more developed this time. It's not just about those books that were released before, even though I'm going to include those things as part of the setting still. So Lisbon and the Penny Tower and Nova Nexus, even though Nova Nexus, maybe we've been talking to Judd, he wants to do some things for Nova Nexus, an adventure. So perhaps Nova Nexus will eventually be a thing of its own, but I'm still including it as part of the Interzone universe. So there's some descriptions here about continents, what happened there. Some of this was already hinted at previously, but it was developed. Some of the things weren't even mentioned, like, let's say, Indonesia, for example. I didn't mention it before, or Singapore, or the Middle East, or the United Kingdom, except for Penny Tower. The United States had some information, but not that much. So it's not a really large chapter, but it gives some information that you can work with. Now this part here is about just rules, of course, and this is red, so it's not the same thing as it was before, of course, because it's.
I really like the style of this of the art on this one.
Yes, so I tried to do something with the AI that looks a bit like the cover.
I'm going to say that it's looking better than what I thought when you first told me about. I was not visualizing the concept, or I was, but the final product is a lot better than what I was seeing in my head.
Yeah, I must say that in this case, I like the last version with the photorealistic images. I think it probably looks better for this kind of thing because AI is better at photorealism than. But in this case, we had already commissioned lots of things. So, and I wanted to include the comics as well. It wouldn't work mixing the art styles for the illustrations made by people with photorealistic images from AI. So I decided let's use this in a comic book style, which was something that I always preferred years ago before starting using the AI. Before AI existed, I preferred a drawing style, not realistic. Some of the books that use photos were inspired by movies, and then it looked a little bit strange because you were reading a role-playing game and you were seeing photos of Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or whatever, and so that's it kind of makes it a little bit strange. And then there were other versions like Vampire 5th Edition that looked like a model shoot, and it also didn't look like the illustrations for a role-playing game. But AI changed that because it's not really existing photos, so those people do not exist. So I started preferring that. But in this case, we've opened an exception, and I think it works. I'm going to show you some of the other man-made illustrations here in a different chapter. So here, this is the chapter on equipment, gear, and all that. Most of the drawings here were made by Rob Necronomicon.
It looks like a lobster.
Yeah, it's a lobsterish biocomputer. This is another one, the Clark Deluxe by Burrowstack. And there are several other the weapons as well. In this case, the weapons, I think sometimes AI isn't really good at doing stuff like weapons, so it worked better. I'm going to scroll down to that. Okay, so the weapons are some of them were colored or recolored. In this case, they were already used by, this is stock art by Rob Necronomicon, and he used it in his own game Terminus. But I think that's not really a problem. Of course, these are common weapons, so I've used the stock art, but not for the bio weapons. Those needed different designs. So we have here a flesh eater blade, and the needle spitter, and the Burrowstack web rifle, and there are a few more things made like by Rob. Also the exoskeletons and power armors. The vehicles were also made by him. These look a little bit like old classics, but with a futuristic look. And now we have illustrations for the more common gear, like the gamepad on the left and the neuropod on the right. These are those items that are very common in the Interzone. These are basically gaming consoles. And this is the fabulous Orgon accumulator, which looks like a giant dick. And also the SimPad. The SimPad is not really a console. It's where you play the real Sims. So it's basically I'm not sure, a replacement to TV, I guess.
Yeah,
a replacement to TV. There's also the Holovid, which is augmented reality. This is not augmented. This is virtual reality, so it's a little bit different. And about the setting is mostly the same, with some changes. Well, the changes are mostly things that were added to it. There was some reworking of Psy talents as well to fit the red rules. And also the magic rules now I've changed that also. Chaos magic, which was also introduced in red, is the only type of magic that you can have available in, unless you want to use another book, of course. There's only chaos magic. I've decided that this is probably more related to the setting, especially because Burroughs himself was interested in chaos magic, so it makes sense, including in terms of themes and not just powers. And what else? Oh yeah, we have a decent looking character sheet as well. Here it is. Not made by me, of course, because it wouldn't be decent if I did it. So the character sheet, I'll make it available outside as well if you want to download it for. And even if you don't buy the game. Okay, so I'm not going to show everything, among other things, because
it's not finished yet.
But I think this is an adequate preview of this. What else did I want to say about this? I can't remember. There's something. Oh yeah, this book will be available for free for everybody that purchased Wretched New Flesh 2nd edition, and vice versa. I will make available Wretched New Flesh 2nd edition if you buy New Flesh. So if you decide, or it would be a little bit unjust because or everybody would just buy Wretched New Flesh 2nd edition instead of this one, which wouldn't make any difference. They'll be probably priced the same. In paper, of course, not, but and also this is a different format. This is US letter, unlike Wretched, which is digest format. So I think this will look better in print as well. More space, and it's easier to read. And there are no more scenarios. There were enough, so I've kept the ones that were already in Wretched New Flesh with slight changes, stats, of course, and some typos that were corrected and all that. In terms of layout, I think it's much easier to navigate through the document, and you have the whole rules inside, so it's handier for. It would be probably the same amount of pages, but in this case, because it's a larger format, and it includes the rules as well. And that's it, I think. New Flesh is going to. I don't know when. I'm going.
Because you're going to take a break during the holidays.
Yes, I'm going to
take a small one, please.
If I can do a pre-release just for the people who purchased the 2nd edition, so before even I start selling it, I may put it there on New Year's Eve, which would probably be a bad day to sell stuff. But because it's the New Year's Eve is an important date in the setting.
Yeah.
It's well, if you read it, you know. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to explain it because it wouldn't make sense. So it's related to a scenario that is inside. Okay, so it will probably be available in the first days of January. So that's at least in PDF. In print format, as usual, it will take some more time.
Well, we're still waiting for Twilight.
Yes, Twilight of Empires. It's I know that they have already shipped it a few days ago, but it's Christmas time, so it's probably going to take a few more days. We'll announce it whenever it's available. It shouldn't take a lot longer.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, I think that during next week it will probably be here. I've received the email confirming that it was already shipped a week ago, so it's probably not long. So that's another thing that's going to be advertised next week. Probably the paper version of Twilight of Empires. I expect that one to look pretty good as well. I'm very fond of that style. Simpler and the cover is also
I think that cover is great.
This cover is the best cover we've ever had for any game. It's my favorite, by our friend Jay Tanaka. There's also a short comic by Ibai Canales, who did the cover for New Flash. And then the rest of it is basically public domain art. So it looks pretty good. Real paintings, mostly by Spanish and Dutch painters of the time.
Real artists.
Real artists, yes. Those, and so I'm expecting that to look very good. Probably much better than the previous one. There was more art for this one, and the Dutch masters.
It is different. A lot more.
Yes, the style is really good. So I expect it to be very, very nice in print.
So that's all.
Yeah, well, there's a short update that I wanted to make about our next year. We'll probably discuss this longer, but I'm going to start reviewing some of our older, not games, probably mostly adventures.
The scenarios. Yes.
Yeah, during the last year, we've released lots of stuff and promoted very little, so I think it's time to pick up some of the older ones, give it a new look, correct some typos. There are always a bunch of them. Change the illustrations and promote it again. So it will be an
opportunity. You have a layout to do for the
yes.
Yes.
There will be a couple of new things as well, shorter new things, not games. So in the next probably couple of months, there won't be any new games, but there will be a few new scenarios. Maybe some of the entries will also be published. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the people that sent us those entries. I don't know if they want to publish them by themselves, if they want to sell them, if they want to give them for free. So we'll decide that later.
But well, they should be coming out on our store from free or sold, or somewhere else.
I'm sure they will be available somewhere after I don't know when, because it will be up to the judges how long they will take to read them and to tell us which are their favorites. So that's
it's still in time to join the jam.
Yes, it's still time for that. And I think now I've covered everything. So have yourselves a wretched little Christmas. I'm not going to say Happy New Year because we'll be.
We're probably going to do a video next week.
We need to do a video actually about the new year and our projects for 25. That's I've already hinted at some of the things, but I want to discuss that with a little bit more detail. And I'm not going to provide you with a schedule, of course, but I will have some news as well. So that's it for now. Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 and see you soon. Bye-bye.